Hello, my dear students. Myself, Mr. Mangesh Bale. I am working as an assistant professor at Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce, and Science College, Chawar. So, in today's lecture, we are going to start the unit number 3, that is optical methods. Okay, into the optical methods, there are actually two subtopics. In that case, atomic spectroscopy, flame emission spectroscopy, that is FES, and atomic absorption spectroscopy, that is AAS. Okay, into this, we are going to start a subtopic, that is flame photometry. Okay, flame photometry. So first of all, we will see the basic principles of flame photometry. In this case, when a metallic salt solution is introduced into a flame, the changes taking place are as follows. See, metallic salt solution. Suppose we will take the metal salt solution. Suppose sodium chloride or potassium chloride. Okay, this is the metal metallic salt. Okay, when we dissolve into the water is a solvent, and it will be completely dissolved because these are the inorganic compounds that will be easily dissolved into the water, either KCl or sodium chloride. Okay, these metallic salt solution, when we introduce into the flame, then what will be the happen? Actually, three major steps into the basic principle of flame photometry. That is, first step is the vaporization, second atomization, and third one excitation. Okay, in this case, we will see first vaporization. Into this, the solvent is vaporized, leaving particles of the solid salt. Okay, that means we have taken a suppose sodium chloride solution, and that sodium chloride solution we are introduced into the flame. At that time, what will happen? The entire solvent, that means entire water, will get vaporized and leaving small particles of the solid salt, that is sodium chloride salt. Okay, now the second step, atomization. Into this step, the salt, remaining salts, okay, the salt is vaporized and converted into free neutral gaseous atom or radicals. That means remaining residue of the salt, that residue also get vaporized and converted into the free neutral gaseous atom or radicals. Okay, from that free gaseous atom or radicals, some of the atoms are excited by the thermal energy of the flame to higher energy level. That means the remaining neutral gaseous atom acquiring or taking the thermal energy from the flame, and it will get excited. Initially they are present into the ground state, but acquiring thermal energy, they are immediately going into the excited state. Okay, and when it will release the energy in the form of photon, they are coming into the ground state. The excited atom being unstable, quick return to lower energy state emitting photons. That means the atom, when going into the excited state, but at that excited state, the atom will not stable, it becomes unstable. Then when it comes into the ground state, they are releasing some characteristics wavelength or emitting a energy into the surrounding and coming into the again ground step. The above step, that means these three steps, can be schematically shown as follows. We will see the steps. These are the actual step. See, sample solution. We have taken sample solution. Suppose sodium chloride. Sodium stands for metal and X is the for Cl. M plus is the metal, X minus is the some halogen attached. Okay, the sample solution. This is the first step. The nebula, when the nebulization process will be happened and converted into the fine mist, again M plus and X minus. But what is mean by nebulization? Okay, we have just seen the three steps. Okay, now the nebulization is the sample solution is converted into fine droplets. The process is known as nebulization. That means the sample solution we have taken, that sample solution converted into the fine mist or the fine droplet. That process is known as what? Nebulization. Then after the nebulization, evaporation will be takes place. Okay, why? Because we are going to introduce that entire sample solution into the flame. Okay, after the evaporation, the solid particles of the salt will be remaining. Okay, because entire solvent will get vaporized. That is the vaporization process, our first step. Okay, after the vaporization, the gaseous molecule, because again the remaining salts will get vaporized into the gaseous neutral atoms or free radicals. Now the second step is the atomization. In the atomization step, what will happen? The salt vaporized and converted into the free neutral gaseous atoms or radicals. Okay, that means mx, this is the residue remaining. It will be separate out in the form of gaseous atom, neutral gaseous atom or radicals. Then the excitation process will be happen. That means the metal salt will acquiring thermal energy and going into the excited state, that is M star. That means metal atom will be going into the excited state, that is M star, in the form of gaseous atom. When the gaseous atom coming into the ground state, okay, coming into the ground state, at that time the gaseous atoms will be emit a radiations, characteristics gradations in the form of wavelength or the emitting the photons or emitting the particular energy, that is H nu. Okay, these are the steps will be involved into the basic principle of flame photometry. Okay, now we will see the measurement of the emitted photons from and on the basis of flame photometry. The intensity of the emitted radiation is directly proportional to the number of excited atoms and hence to the concentration of the element present in the flame. If E2 and E1 present the energy of the higher and lower energy levels, the radiation emitted during the jump is defined by equation. See the first equation, E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. Okay, E2 minus E1. These are the actually energy is equal to h nu. This is the equation number 1. In this above equation number 1, where h is the Planck's constant and nu is the frequency of emitted photons, but nu is equal to c upon lambda. This equation we already known. That is the equation number 2. When we combining equation 1 and 2, above equation 1 and 2, when we combine, then what will get? E2 minus E1 is equal to hc upon lambda. That is, lambda is equal to hc upon E2 minus E1. Okay, this is the equation number 3. Okay, now the wavelength of emitted radiation is characteristic of the atoms of the particular element present in the flame. It can be calculated using equation number 3. Just we have seen above equation number 3 that we are going to calculate. Wavelength of the radiation coming from a flame helps in the identification of the elements which are present in the flame. The measurement of intensity of the emitted radiation tells us the amount of the element present. The fraction of free atoms that are thermally excited is governed by Boltzmann distribution equation. Okay, the Boltzmann distribution equation we know, that is n star upon n0 is equal to a into e raised to minus delta E upon kt. This is the Boltzmann distribution equation. Okay, this is the equation number 4. Okay, where in this case n star means the number of excited atoms. We have seen the salt solution. Okay, in this case the n star is the what? The number of excited atoms. N0 is the number of atoms remaining in the ground state, and capital A is a constant for a particular element. Delta is the difference in energies of the two levels, and K is the Boltzmann constant equal to R by N, where R is the gas constant and N is the Avogadro's number. And last is the capital T, that is temperature of the flame in the form of Kelvin. Okay, it is seen from equation 4 that fraction of atoms excited, that is n star upon n0, depends on both delta E and T. Okay, that means the fraction of atom excited will be totally depend on what? Both, that is delta E, that is energies of the both the levels, that is ground state and excited state level, and also the temperature of the flame. The temperature is controlled by the type of fuel and oxidant used. That means the temperature of the flame that we can control with the help of our flame provided and oxidant used for burning the flame, that we can control the temperature of the flame. An increase in temperature and a decrease in delta E will result in a higher value of n star upon n0. Okay, that means increase in temperature and decrease the value of delta E, and higher will be the value of n star upon n0. it has been shown that even under most favorable condition, the fraction of the excited atom is very small one. It is seen that intensity of the emitted radiation is directly proportional to the population of the excited atoms. Okay, so this is about the basic principles of flame photometry. In now in next lecture we are going to start the instrumentation of the flame photometer. Okay, thank you.